live.
Just in time to be here. I don't know. Is that the right thing to say? Is it just in time?
Just in time to be here, or wherever you go, there you are. So
yeah. Let's pretend we're like a hippie band from the 60s with spitting mad fire and insightful lyrics, like Where You Are or Where You Here. Hey, everyone, what's going on? We're just doing, intensive research on cons, Dragon Cons, Wonder Cons, Witch Cons. Before we went live, we were live in the pre super season, but we need to bounce over to live. Yes. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? It's the middle of the week. Is everything going good? Everything going smooth? Anything Gen Con?
Oh, yeah, Gen Con.
And there's so many cons these days. You could just come up with, like, word salad con. Be like, yeah, probably exists. So what do we got for everybody tonight? Pretty much going to start out with a little old-fashioned bashing on Microsoft. That's going to be a thing. Firefox snaps, Linux kernels, Chrome Flex, and how not to release something to the general public for testing.
We have several things involving Microsoft.
And I'm going to do a social media. There we go.
And Google.
Google's going to Google. That's it's one of those. I think Google was really the first tech company that I was around from, the entire arc of it. You live long enough to become hated.
I know.
When Google's like that
cool,
crazy little tech startup doing weird and wacky things to just the omnipresent thing that's in your life now. Mm-hmm. That's Google.
Yeah, we've been there for its whole evolution.
Right.
Matthew. Hi, Matthew. Hi, Arthur. Hi, Oil of Hope. Hi, Beastwick. Hi, Mir. Mm-hmm.
Matthew, you need to see if you can watch us with Netscape Navigator with Flash. I was talking about that a bit earlier. I think the only way to get Netscape Navigator 4.x up and running is with Wine these days. There's no chance. Someone really needs to make that an app image so we can inflict just how bad the web was back in the day. Some may say it was simpler. It was simpler times, but and you do think about simpler times. You really do, especially when you go to a website and you've closed the third auto-playing video.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Does that drive everyone else up the wall as much as I do? Like, it comes down to, I will not share a site if it's got something cool on it if I go to it and a video starts playing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't propagate.
It's annoying.
That. Right.
Yeah.
Well, what if we use, what is the old school web browser that's been modernized? It wasn't SeaMonkey, was it?
Yeah, SeaMonkey. Yeah, okay. SeaMonkey is awesome. It's actually I use that one a lot because it's basically old school Firefox. Awesome, but it's got all the modern amenities, and it's regularly updated. But it just looks. It has the old school skins. It has the two old school skins that I used to get with Firefox and Netscape. It was so cool.
Screenshots. Yeah, they'll bring you back. Okay, yeah. Nice little bookmark sidebar. Remember bookmarks? All right, that looks a little more modern. It's got, plugins and all that. So yeah, if you want to get your retro on, SeaMonkey. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get my retro on though. I like the modern web. Yeah.
I do a lot of show notes in SeaMonkey on my other computer I work on.
We're living in a time where websites have basically become applications. So, which is interesting.
Reject humanity, embrace Sea Monkey. Oh, now I've regularly donate to the developers. I like it a lot. You got your.
You run it on your Windows 7 bucks, your vintage Windows 7 machine. Now, I do want to give everyone a little bit of information that there's a very fun game that I tried to get.
Yes.
Jill played it. That was part of the Steam Next Fest. Is Turbo Golf Racing. It's probably going to become very popular.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to be playing it a lot here at Linux Gamecast.
100%.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It's
so
just
well
fun. It's one of those games, and you know what? It's got Jordan's two favorite things in it: golf and racing.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Arthur. And in fact, I need to go get my mug. Yes, I need to go get some water and maybe take
hop
a
on
break.
it. We got about 8 minutes.
Okay, I will go take care of that now. Hey.
Look at this. Very simple concept. You got a ball, and you got to boop it to the end and put it in a hole. Sounds simple enough. I put like 6 or 7 hours playing in this, and it is delightfully addictive. Genuinely is. Now the demo is still up, but it's in single player mode only right now, so you can get a taste of it. Oh, it was fun. Drunk on life? I don't know. I mean, life is a drug. It's a perpetual thing. You know, you're always getting drugged. Your brain's producing fun, delightful drugs. Some of them not fun, some maybe not so delightful, but yeah, it's a chemical wonderland called consciousness. But we did have a good time last night. We got everyone together for some Trackmania. If you join in on that, I don't know how fun that is to watch, but it's always a blast to play. And man, there was a map I couldn't even get around. It was a 3PO map. It was the boss map. I'm going to have to do some work on that. I'm going to have to practice. But I like a good puzzle. And that's what these maps are. It's puzzle platforming with wheels, which is kind of interesting. On that point, hey, look at you, bud. Hold your breath, man. It's 50-50 on that one. And what else do I have? I need to get ready for. That's good, that's good, that's good. It's not crazy hot. My lawn guy's not running around outside, which is also a nice bonus. I do have a new thing to talk about right at the beginning of the show. So does Jill, though, which is nice. And let me check for any last-minute fires, and I will grab a drink when Jill returns, and we will... Oh, look at that. All right, there's that. There's that. Oh, right. So check this out. Like every Linux Gamecast email address I had, I got an email for some domain squatter that is trying to sell me linuxgamecast.net. How much would you pay for linuxgamecast.net? A domain that I intentionally didn't bother getting. You know what? Not that much. Not that much. I think dude wanted like, you're close. You're close. Arthur, you would have won the bid without going over, I do believe. $380. $380. I had a good laugh. I had a good laugh that it went to like multiple email accounts. You're really persistent here. Like, no. But I do feel good that somebody spent whatever it costs to register a domain name to try to make money off that, because it's not going to happen. Now, if it was linuxgamecast.horse, maybe. especially if you tune into like the Linux Gamecast, our pre super shows, and that's where we end up buying stupid domain names. Like this is a time honored tradition. Jordan is just as bad as I am. Yeah, but I don't want it, Joe. A .net? Like, who wants a .net? Like, the hardest decision when I got LinuxGamecast.com back in 2010, 12 years ago, I was like, do I want to do .com or .org? That's where I was at back then. I think I decided. I don't know why I decided on a .com versus. Oh, it was probably not that I had any legal responsibilities to do it, which is something I've still not done today. Is go through the process of setting it up as a on paper legal nonprofit entity, which I need to eventually do. You have Lutris.net. Strider, weren't you featured on the Hewlett-Packard's website? I think you were. Or one website, you were posting a picture. You posted a picture in Discord. For like the Dev 1 thing? Or was it Pop? Or something like that? I don't remember. I did watch Doctor Strange, though. I'll give that 3 cheers. Pop Shop. That's on the HP website. All right, so you got it covered. Right on. Didn't mind Doctor Strange. Wasn't blown away about it. Here's it. I'm going to give everyone a pro tip. Don't get into like television, film, video production too deep. Just don't do it. Because you're looking at like compositing with shots and keying and color grading instead of watching the film. And that's dumb. And it's hard not to do it automatically. I will praise the sound design though. That was pretty good. Stereo mix, really nice. Where's Lutris.com go? Here's a question we need to ask ourselves. Lutris.com, ladies and gentlemen, goes to the sister project, Neon Experts. Trade supplies and bespoke signage. So that's right.
Oh, boy. So I got a ton of packages I had to go get off the porch.
Oh, man. I didn't get tripped up by it. I had one that they don't even try to like stealth anything. In my neighborhood, they don't care because nobody's going to take anything. And I had one that I didn't see when I went out for a run this morning. And I assume the FedEx person didn't deliver between 4:30 and 5:15.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb. So they just put it near my door. And I don't know how long that's been there, to be honest with you. That could have been there for a week. All right. Yeah, let me grab something to drink and we're going to get into it. We got a nice, tight, quick show for you today. And hey, a little bit of Microsoft bashing.
Yeah. Hi, Ed Maver. How are you? Nice, Matthew. Oh, wow, Justin. Are they for work? For your work? Working on some laptops for people or for yourself? Do. Hello, Joel Mix. Oh, very cool. Hi, Donna M. How are you doing? Yay! The whole family's here. Except I guess my husband hasn't popped in yet. He's been really busy at work. Oh yeah, so Arthur and I did get my kitty mug because I just love this mug. So cute. Black kitty. Next week I'll have something new. I also have this in white too. But I wore it. I'm using the black one to celebrate my kitty cat. I got a black, short-haired, young kitty cat named Frodo. Oh, nice, Donna M. Ah, nice, Justin. Yeah, celebrate the kitty cats. Yeah, he's been such a wonderful kitty. He had been feral, and we took him in and got him healthy, and now he's just a happy, loving kitty cat who takes care of our property and is a good mouser and makes sure there's, he catches all the vermin. And he likes to catch butterflies too, which I don't like too much. I don't want him killing butterflies, but that's how he's learning to hunt. And they're big, the big monarch butterflies. Hey, oh yeah, that's a good name. Yes, Mauser. That's a good name for a kitty.
That's a great idea, Jill. Do you know what'd be awesome?
What, Ben?
A butterfly smoothie.
Ah, it would taste like insect, but it would be pretty.
Tastes the rainbow.
Yeah.
All right. Probably tastes better than a moth smoothie.
Yeah. Yeah. Go down a little easier, I think.
I'm doing the thing where I'm finding our outro music for Get Off May music. There we go. We have that together. Let's check our shots. That's good. Wait, let me double check this. I want to stream chat. Yeah, that's good. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get back to this. We have a thing. Oh. What's the last thing you played on your Steam Deck?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in a half shell.
Speaking of that, in the after shows, Saturday night, I went ahead and I recorded it and I put it up on YouTube. If you're curious about what kind of mayhem 6-player online is,
oh yeah,
we got a 30-minute demonstration of that, 4K audio, like recorded here at the studio.
Nice. So. Yeah, I played with 6 people and we beat Shredder. I think we got through it in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour long game, so yeah.
Yeah. It was 4 people first, and then we got 6. And it was loads of fun, except I had a hard time keeping track of my character, that's for sure, but I think everyone
Nobody
did.
was able to do that.
Yeah.
That's, when you're playing with 6,
yeah.
You're just there for the chaos.
The chaos.
And I think that's what it's meant for, And it's a really good game.
Oh, it's really wonderful.
If you were a fan of the arcade classics or the, definitely had a little bit of the Hyperstone Heist, if you remember playing that on the Mega Drive back in the day. And yeah, I mean, it's very faithful to the original. All right, not the NES original, except that overworld map. If you want some horrible flashbacks to that stupid game.
Oh, I played Vampire Survivors recently because Mir gifted that to me. I played that. I played oh, what was that other steampunk one? Oh,
Mm,
Cloudpunk. Actually,
Cloudpunk.
Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's a cyberpunk flying game, like Blade Runner, flying in a car around. It's really cool.
All right.
Hmm.
I wonder if I've played Cloudpunk.
Cloudpunk. And then, but of course, I've played the most Trackmania on the Steam Deck than anything.
All right. Let's get that.
Yeah, it actually is a fun game, but it's a hard one because like I keep dying. I did get to the third map, so that was good, but I keep dying.
I think the only
But it's
thing
really nice to play on the Steam Deck.
I was surprised, we talked at the beginning of Linux Gamecast, is the Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
remake. It was kind of interesting. They did the announcement trailer last week, and it's available now. But during the announcement trailer, it says Steam Deck all over it because they made sure it was verified for Steam Deck.
yeah.
That's pretty nice. I don't know. I'll wait until it's in a Capcom or whoever's bundle, and I'll play it. I don't want to buy that outright, especially since it was an Epic exclusive.
Exclusive, like Pedro says.
That just winds me up. That winds me up. Artificial walled gardens. We don't need console-like behavior. I don't like that Epic does it. I don't like that Origin does it. I don't like that EA or Bethesda at the time or Microsoft tried to do it with Windows. It's like, don't. Let's not bring that behavior into the PC platform.
Yeah, and I'm so happy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You didn't have to sign up with your Epic account because I had forgotten it. I'm like, oh no, good. So on Steam, I don't have to.
Oh, that was another thing that happened this week. Fall Guys is now delisted from the Steam store.
Oh yeah, what happened with that? I heard there was some drama.
That's it. Epic bought them.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They got Rocket Card.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, you know what? We're going to buy it and we're going to make it where you can play it only on Windows through the Epic client. Like, all right, fine.
Aw. There's my Steve husband.
All right. Cool, everybody.
Cloud
we are
testing
going
machine.
to jump into a show.
Cool.
Let me move that over. There. Wait. Aha, there we go. In 3. Hey everyone, welcome back to Linux Weekly, daily Wednesdays where we sit back, relax, take that midweek break, talk about some of the fun things going on in the world of Linux, open source, and basically anything we find interesting. I am Vince Stone, that is Joe Bryant, and together with you, watching this live on Twitch. You're supposed to be working. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that in the pre-show. Go back and check it out if you're a patron. TwitchCon is coming up in Berlin, I think it is. TwitchCon Europe.
Amsterdam, I think.
Amsterdam, somewhere in that area. I was watching a Twitch streamer, Hitch, who rides bikes across the place, and him and his girlfriend are doing the tandem thing. I'm watching it for the chaos of them two trying to figure out how to work a recumbent tandem bicycle. It is amazing. And, they're starting from Bordeaux and Le France and doing that. So that's been a fun watch so far. Not as cool as everybody's getting cases for their Steam Decks. Yes. Pedro got one that looks, I don't know, like a diseased orange. But
he got the skin that was white and orange.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually got a rubber pink case. And this came from AliExpress.
Okay.
Alibaba.
That was quick.
Yeah. And actually I got it in a week. I was amazed. But it's very nice. It's a beautiful, it's the only one I could find that was pink. So I grabbed it and it's been very nice. I like it because my hands don't sweat when I'm using it now. like when we're playing Trackmania, I don't sweat when I'm holding it.
Well, I mean, you got a nice
Very
sturdy
nice.
case. You can just smash your Steam Deck up against that cabinet right there a few times for us.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. The only reason I don't normally need to get cases because I'm so gentle with all my computers and hardware, but is when we go to scale, there will be a lot of people with Steam Decks, and I want to be able to differentiate mine from the world. So,
What we're saying is Jill's going to be mad when she sees somebody else with a pink one.
yeah, no. But finding this one was actually it took quite a while to find this one.
So yeah, Trackmania, you've been playing on that. We're having a good time with that on Tuesdays. We did that.
Yeah.
Me and Jill both found a map that just beat us. I'm like, oh, I can't get around this one. But this is good. This is good. This is why we do this stuff, because it's physics platforming, and we have all week to practice on it for Friday, where we do game giveaways for the top 3 spots. If you want to participate, all the information's in the Discord. It's there. Come say hi. We'd love to have you come play with us. But I saw a couple of things. The big one is a thing I've been trying to get a hold to for months. I've talked about it on the show a couple of times. And I've not even mentioned what it was because you just couldn't buy it. And I'm not that type of person. I had one here in the studio, but it was defective. And I thought I was just like scored. I'm like, I'm going to be able to have this video together. It's going to be done. So when this thing's widely available, no such luck. It's still not widely available, but what I do have is the you hear it like an old boombox. Remember boomboxes?
There you go.
This is an Ultra Voice 1. It's a channel strip voice processor, so it's got all the things on it, like a mic preamp, compressor, de-esser, enhancer, expander, gates, outputs, and most importantly, because I know you're thinking, you're like, Vin, that's just a channel strip. Yeah, it is. But it's got a USB audio interface built into it, which is wait a minute, because you're sitting there like, well, I can get a DBX channel strip. Like, yeah, you could, but then you're going to have to plug that into your audio interface and all that. This is everything in one piece, which is the novel idea. Don't even know if it works with Linux yet. It just showed up. So stay tuned for that. I'll definitely be dropping a little bit more information on that topic in our Discord, and I'll have that up for patrons a little bit later, hopefully by the end of next week. But I want to talk about our favorite company, Microsoft, because I saw something when I was browsing Reddit.
Okay. Tell us about it, then.
Scrolling through Reddit. You're on Reddit when you're supposed to be working. You're like, yeah, I'll get back to that in a minute. Microsoft really wants the kids to use Edge. They do. Like, so bad that they're willing to do this. Look at this. Search Bing on Microsoft Edge for 5 days. Search with Bing for Microsoft. My brain doesn't want to process this. You search with Bing for 5 days and you get 330 mine coins when you join Microsoft Rewards. So, that's okay. On one hand, I can appreciate just how dystopian and dark that is.
Yeah.
Like, how do we get the kids to use Edge? However, reading through, it's Minecraft, skews to a younger audience. And of course, it's Reddit too. Younger audience. Reading through the comments wasn't like, oh, this is a great idea. This is wonderful. We'll start using Edge now. It was a lot of people going, yeah, just make sure you do it for the bare minimum days, then you can get rid of Edge. No one likes Edge, not even for that. But they're willing to take your mine coins, but that's it. I was like, okay, kids aren't as gullible as I was afraid so, but Microsoft, come on, really?
Yeah, that's kind of shady.
That's not kind of shady. That's directly targeted. That's a van with free candy written on it, Joe.
Yeah,
that's dark.
It is dark.
So that's enough bashing on Microsoft, and I'm just lying. Let's start the show off right.
Yes, more Microsoft bashing.
This just blew my mind. It really did. No astronomical pricing and paid open source free copycat applications anymore. Right. To which I didn't have anything to say to this when I first read this, because it's like, this was allowed in the first place. And we're looking at the Microsoft Store. There's a picture here. Go back and watch the video version if you're not. Where things like the GIMP
Yeah.
and other open source
Mhm.
applications were being posted paid $9.99. There's a regular GIMP for free. And next to that, there's one for $9.99. And from just, Jim decided to post it and charge $9.99. What do you get for $9.99? You just get an open source copy of GIMP. This was allowed. So behold this new innovative change from the fine people at Microsoft will prohibit publishers from charging fees for software that is open source and generally available for free.
Hmm. It's about time, Microsoft. It's
I,
about time.
I don't even know what to say to that. And
I know. I know. This was really a travesty to me. It was just, I knew this had been going on. I'd even seen uh, uh, actually my cousin's computer with the GIMP, the paid version of the GIMP in the store. And I was like, oh, rolled my
well, I
eyes.
know you're covering up. You spend a lot of time in your Microsoft store in
No,
the Windows 7 box.
I only
Oh,
see it
yeah.
when I'm at other people's
All the
houses.
time. Now, this was a problem with OBS. Like last year, I don't know if it was in the Microsoft store, but this is not the first time this has happened. I know OBS had a problem
Yeah.
with people repackaging OBS. And, I'm not talking about slobs, by the way. I'm not talking about Streamlabs OBS, but completely malicious actor that was like straight up putting, malware into the package as well and trying to trick people. I think it was like obs-project.com to like, they went so far as to buy Google ads. So when you search for OBS, the first results was the malware. It's not the first time this has happened. I was just surprised that this was allowed at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion, because that there's a lot of confusion there.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I know Strider's listening right now. Can you imagine, somebody showing up on the Lutris GitHub or getting an email like, "Where's my paid support? I purchased this from the."
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my goodness. So this is just third-party shenanigans, people taking advantage of Windows users who unknowingly, pay for free and open source products. And a lot of times, unfortunately, there's the stigma if you don't pay for your software, it isn't good. So a lot of people get stuck in that way of thinking and get taken advantage of because of it. No, it's free open source software, and it's beautiful software, and it doesn't need to be behind a paywall.
I want to hear from our brothers and sisters out there using the Windows Store. Do you normally use that? Is that where you go to get software? I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
Back in my day, when I was surrounded by Windows users, everyone would just
Go to
have like a list of websites. And,
Yeah.
And I still run into that, at least on the audio side, from people saying, well, I went to Focusrite's website or I went to Moto's website and I don't see the Linux drivers. Just plug it into the box and it'll work. What?
Yeah.
Welcome to Linux, kids. Now, we talked about Firefox snaps about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
Fine people over at Canonical, they're not going to give up.
Mhm.
They're back with part 2 of how they're going to make snaps snappy real quick. I went through this, just kind of looking at it and like, oh, okay. I don't envy the person that has to write this and do this. The startup times were kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Still some hitches. The big one being hardware acceleration is still kind of hit or miss with the Firefox Snap, and the Firefox Snap and Flatpak are currently unable still to interact with network shares, but there's some progress, right, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. They've done a lot of work on the language packs. There's a large number of them that launch when you start the Firefox Snap for the first time. And, this contributes to it taking a long time to launch. And so what they're going to do is actually Mozilla intends to mirror a change in the Snap that they made on the Windows version of Firefox that will add the ability to only load one locale at a time based on your system locale. So that makes sense. So it doesn't have to load all those language packs. That's always been annoying. And there's so many great changes coming because of this investigation. I'm really happy it's happening, and it's really helping Ubuntu to focus on desktop and the desktop apps running nicely and launching. And thank you to Art Theron for posting this in Discord. It was awesome. He found it, put it in there.
Sounds good. I still don't have any desire to run out and
download the Snap.
install Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, any mechanism to have, in all fairness, I feel the same way about Flatpak.
Yeah.
And I'm still mixed about this, and I'll say it every time it comes up, is I'm not sold containerization for desktop yet. But if I had to pick the technology, Snap's something. I mean, it works, and they're still working with it. But I do believe, Flatpak is a better technology.
Yeah, I think so too. And app images, we can't forget about app images.
I don't even like talking about it. App images. App images has a interesting problem of they're great. Just don't look at the developer, the creator of app images. Stay away from that, because that's a ball of crazy. That I've even had the displeasure of interacting with. All right. Kernel 5.19 is out. Release candidate 1. And, I kind of had a sad, Jill.
Oh, why were you sad then?
I did. It hurt my feeling. Well, what happened was, it's oh, look, 5.19, RC1. I'm going to download this, and let's grab the real-time patch set. And I got through that. I compiled it, generated my Debian packages to upgrade Jackbox. Then I remembered that I put an NVIDIA card in it.
Oh, okay.
Running the proprietary drivers. I'm right. Can't use that quite yet, and I didn't feel like checking. So I had a little bit of a sad. I was I wanted to play with 5.19 RC1, but I couldn't.
Oh. Yeah, so, Linus Torvalds just released Linux kernel 5.19 RC1, and it does bring a lot of changes. This is actually a big release, including new hardware support and updates across CPU, GPU, networking, storage, and core modules. And one of the things that's really interesting in this release is that it begins initial support for the Long Arch CPU family that is developed by the Chinese company Longsun. I don't know if I'm saying that right, or Lungsun. So Long Arch CPUs are the general purpose MIPS architecture compatible microprocessors that are 64-bit. So it's a very innovative CPU, and it's been around a while, and it's nice to have that Linux support for them, because I've noticed a lot of servers starting to use them and applications. And it also comes with the new Intel IFS driver, which helps to detect hardware issues before deployment and after. And it will help actually detect CPU faults at the circuit level at an early stage. So it's nice to have some more troubleshooting mechanisms in the Linux kernel. That's a joy. And the other really big thing about this mainline Linux kernel is it now will support multiple, not just single, but multiple ARM platforms. And this process had started with Linux 3.7, and it has spanned more than a decade of work and patches, but now it is here. So you can have lots of different ARM processors working with Linux from the kernel level. So very exciting there.
And don't forget, you got support for that Apple N1.
Yes.
NVMe. Always, come on, Apple, release 2 or 3 more generations so I can buy that first gen M1 brick for $300. I want to play with one really bad.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. Always surprised to see anybody messing around with the MIPS architecture, because in reality, the only reason the MIPS even exist right now is for budget routers.
Yeah, that is true.
In your house, you got a MIPS processor. And by budget, I mean sub $500, sub $300. Stuff that you're going to get from Netgear.
A lot of networking.
Yeah.
prices go up significantly when you switch over to ARM64. Ask me how I know. But speaking of ARM, I saw that Jim Keller, everyone knows who Jim Keller is. He's taped out a bunch of famous chips, and wherever he goes, CPUs tend to get really good. He definitely co-designed with Ryzen, with AMD. When Ryzen went from Bulldozer to, hey, AMD went from Bulldozer to Ryzen, that was kind of a fun time. And we have the AMD that we had today, which was not the AMD that existed 5 or 6 years ago. He came out and he publicly said that AMD should have stuck with a K12, which AMD was working on an ARM CPU.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Something they'd been toying with, for the server class and something like that. And it's easy for like hindsight's 2020 because you see what Apple's done with ARM, with the M1 and M2, which is very impressive. And I see a lot of people online that were saying, yeah, AMD should have stuck with ARM. See, AMD couldn't have done that, though. They couldn't have done that. And we're talking about the AMD that had to sell their headquarters and lease it back to themselves. They were so strapped for cash. They didn't have the money. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think we'll ever see like an AMD ARM, Intel ARM, non-x86 in our future before we're too old to compute?
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. I think they're just doing so well with their current architecture. I don't see that they have a need really, because there's already people in the ARM space.
Well, I mean, there's Apple.
Yeah, there is Apple. I think we will see actually AMD, working on ARM before we pass.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I want options, x86 is, I mean, it still works, but when you see the performance and power efficiency.
It's the power efficiency, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Because I can sit back and say, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind a little desktop with like 90 little ARM cores running at it, drawing like 150 watts. Okay.
And then you know what? Yeah, that's a good question, Ben, because I'm thinking where it would, the first application they could use something like that in is in their APUs they use for laptops and low powered devices. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see them using ARM for that, but on the desktop I'm not sure, but maybe because they're doing so well with Ryzen. I guess I can't think beyond that.
I guess it all comes down to
innovation.
Well, as a lot of people point out, most of us are sitting on more compute power than we ever would normally use.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
they're getting Ryzen more power efficient, and they're, the chips are getting smaller. So
they're getting smaller, and they're still managing, like the what I would call like mid-grade stuff is around 65 watt TDP, which is more than manageable.
Yeah.
So, oh man, let's talk about this real quick. AMD did release some sad news. Good news and sad news. Threadripper is alive and well. Threadripper will continue on. We don't have to worry about Threadripper going away. I'm having difficulty saying Threadripper for some reason.
Threadripper. Say it 3 times.
Said it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Why don't you say it 4 times? Huh?
Threadripper.
I'm going to put that on loop. Thanks. Check this out. So Threadripper is going to continue on. AMD made that announcement this week, and we don't have, because people were like, well, they're going to get rid of it since, the desktop processors are already up to like, 16 core, 32 thread. They're high end on that. And, reason like, well, why would you need Threadripper? AMD kind of thought the same way. So what's going to happen is the regular vanilla Threadripper is going away. They're not going to be 2 product stacks, because traditionally you had Threadripper, and introduced last year was Threadripper Pro that you couldn't get your hands on unless you bought a Lenovo. So, because it was made widely available to system integrators. So yeah, Threadripper by itself is going away. RIP little buddy, my little 1920X. Which makes me a little bit sad though, because that filled an interesting niche. I understand I'm not a large market, but for somebody who needed basically just the PCI lanes, I needed, 4 by 16, and really I needed 5 or 6. And that's where we come into like Threadripper Pro. because then you can get the full 128 lanes with like you'd normally get with Epic. So you could have like 8 or 9 easily. But
Very nice.
Threadripper Pro is not in my price range.
Yeah. Yeah,
That is
the
like,
Threadripper you have is a nice kind of a go-between between workstation and server class. It's
right. It's
I
something
get
that you
it.
can, it has enough lanes in it where I can plug in the hardware that I need. And I don't have to spend, starting with, oh, well, how much of a difference? This was a very expensive motherboard. This is almost a $400 motherboard. But you know what? I can eat a $400 motherboard, but I can't eat, Jill. This is a Threadripper Pro motherboard starting at $1,000.
Oh, yes. Yes.
For the motherboard.
Yeah, just for the motherboard.
I haven't gotten to the $3,000 CPU.
Oh my goodness. I paid $800 for my first Pentium Pro motherboard back in the day.
I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad about that. So now I'm like laser focused. I'm watching because I got to catch the Gen 2 Threadripper at its peak because eventually, because they go the little bump. They will do the dip when retailers are like, okay, we're never going to get any more of these. Let's just go ahead and fire sale them.
Yeah.
Then there's that nanosecond where the people try to collect things. The vintage computer crowd comes in and tries to buy them up. Then the value starts coming up because they're rare or something like that. Like, yes, this is a rare CPU. It's like, what, they only make 2 billion of them? Like, well, all right. So yeah, there's my little rant in the middle of the show. Now, we all love Google, right? We got Google accounts. Nothing but Google for days.
Oh, I want Google Plus back.
Yeah. I want Google Drive on the desktop, Jill. I'm still waiting 10 years later.
Absolutely. 10 years? We've been waiting?
10 years. It's been a decade. Yeah, we're any day now, Google. Any day now. So you probably get some Google in your life, whether or not you want it. I don't have any excitement. That's something we talked about in the pre-show is, we've been around for long enough to where Google was that weird little scrappy upstart with 10 or 15 employees doing crazy things. And now it's just this omnipresent corporation, like everything else that, it's around, it's a thing. But they do things, interesting things sometimes. And we got Android out of that. But another thing, Chrome OS, which you might have a Chromebook, dealt with a Chromebook, looked at a Chromebook, passed a Chromebook on a jogging trail, but then you need to give me some more answers because I got more questions. But there's another version of Chrome OS that you can basically just put on anything you want. And I'm talking about Chrome OS Flex. You can put that on a PC, a Mac, and it's just going to run. It's a cloud-first operating system, which means, man, you like to live dangerously is all I can say. So, yeah, basically with this, you get a Chromebook, whatever you got laying around the house can get a Chromebook. Can we call it a Chrome top, a Chrome station? What do you call Chrome OS on a desktop PC? I don't know. What Chrome OS Flex running on a standard PC? Anyway, Chrome OS Flex is ready for testing and images are available. All you need to install this Linux-based operating system is a copy of Windows.
Yeah.
Or OS, Mac OS. Okay, Mac first OS, thing.
Yes.
Let's just go ahead and get into this dodgy territory.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to try, because me and Jill both went through this, try Chrome OS Flex. I'm going to do that, and it's going to say, well, Vin, give me all of this information. And you know what I did? I did, which first made me wonder. Because, hey, you can put this on a thumb drive and pop it in. It's like, maybe I want to try this out. And Google, just between me and you, you already have all this information. Why are you trying to double dip? You don't need to do any of this. You don't need to do any of this because all this does is takes you to a help document that says, yes, install the Chromebook recovery utility, plug it in Chrome, and create a USB image. I did, and I went to create it, which it said, I only support Windows and Mac.
Yes.
So I think this might be the first time that Windows was a requirement for Linux.
Yeah. So annoying. I thought it would be an ISO that I could easily download.
We both know it is
install.
an ISO that you can just download.
Exactly. And they just, packaged it for Windows. It's so annoying.
Again, I remember when Google used to be cool. Not anymore. Like, this is the most nonsensical,
Yeah, at first when I saw, let's put the company name and all that, and I just did something fake, to go to the next screen. And, and then I found out, oh no, I need Windows to install this. Linux, on my Linux machine? What? Oh, Chrome OS.
I don't know. I wanted to play around with it.
OS.
Chromios.
Yeah, as Jordan says.
Chrome OS Flex. So if you're playing around with it, send a message into the show. We got a contact form. Let us know how it runs and what it runs on, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to feed it to, because I got some old boxes here in the studio, like these Dell 3010s.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, can this get up and running? Also, what I wouldn't mind, Googs, which might actually be usable for somebody like me, which would get me way more interested, is a version of Chrome OS Flex for Android tablets.
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Then you could get that tablet you've been wanting.
I can just put it on the stack of tablets that I have. I'm like, hey, can I repurpose this? And they're like, oh, all right, that might be usable with a keyboard. I don't know. That was just, I wanted to share that experience with everyone of like, yes, this would be interesting. Let's try out this Linux-based operating system. Oh, I can't because I don't have a copy of Windows.
Yeah, I don't. Not running Windows. And this has a caveat, though. It has to be a 64-bit machine with at least 4 gigs of RAM, which I just realized is really quite odd and interesting because Chromebooks often only have 2 gigs of RAM. So
maybe like the basic budget ones.
Yeah. Most of them now have 4
But then
gigs,
again, this is for old laptops. And
yeah, and that's why I was surprised because I thought there should be a 2 gig. Minimum.
Not for an old laptop. You'd have to go pretty far back to find a laptop that only had 2 gigs of RAM. Like,
well, what if you want to put Chrome OS Flex on an already existing Chromebook that has only 2 gigs of RAM?
Why would, see, this is like one of the things though. Like, I don't even know if you could.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
that'll be an interesting experiment.
Yeah, this is designed for old desktops on old laptops.
Yeah.
Oh, and I know, like, you'd have to go back at least a decade before you would start seeing
32-bit. Yeah.
32-bit, much less than 4 gigs of memory. I think that's a reasonable requirement.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, this is really great for schools because they can use existing infrastructure.
Schools on a budget, right? Yeah. Exactly. Instead of like re-upping everything. Oh man, I got a couple of friends that work in North American school systems that have Chromebooks. Those things get murdered. Yeah. Just decimated, which, part of me as an adult looking at that going, oh, that's horrible. But trying to remember back to like primary, secondary school, I'm like, yeah, probably would have been pretty rough because I think about my textbooks.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah, because they treat them like textbooks. Yeah. Chromebooks are textbooks now.
Oh, man. All right. So we got a little bit of pie to talk to everyone about. Before we do that, we want to thank each and every one of you making the show possible. We had a bunch of new Twitch subs and reoccurring subs. I even see Don M. 3-subbed 20 months. Imagine that. That is crazy. That is insane. But if you want to help us out, get some cool stuff in return, you can do that. Head over to patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. We got a bunch of different membership levels with a bunch of different rewards for helping us. And that's pretty neat. Up to and including, we got a bonus hour of material. We do the pre-super shows and each and every week. This week will include a semi-spoilery review of Doctor Strange. Yeah, things like that. We still talk about it.
Cool.
And if you like the show, you want some more tech in your background, you get the live and uncut version of this. Podcast format, customized RSS feed just for you. Come say hi in our Discord. But as always, our Discord live show channel is bridged between Twitch and IRC. You can find out more information on that at linuxgamecast.com. Click that live button. It will be there. Plenty of ways to support us, keeping us loud, live, independent. We even have Amazon wish list. If you want to
we do.
buy something that blinks for Jill,
and the cups. And there's that poor Kingston Drive that we're just not going to get that out of principle because it's an old friend of the show at this point.
Yes. I've been waiting for that one. My hubby did gift me one from my wish list that was a gig, the Kingston gig, and I'm using that one right now, in fact. But
and if you get anything off of our wish zone, we
yeah.
going to read a little note that you can send in. That's the one for the studio.
Yes.
That one is radically expensive stuff. Yeah, well, I don't know. You know what? This is not. Is that a good deal? $199. I mean, considering it was originally $313.
Yeah, actually, that's
2
really
terabyte?
good. Is it M.24?
It's M.2. Nah, it's by 3. You're not.
Oh, by 3. Okay.
Kids, do not waste money buying. You're
Yeah,
never
well-
going to saturate that with any practical anything. Trust me, I know a lot about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just bought a new motherboard that has support for 4, so NVMe, so I went ahead and got it. But I do want to thank Mir PPC in chat, and one of my favorite people, and LGC patron. He gifted me the game Vampire Survivors from Steam, so I could play it on my Steam Deck. So thank you so much, Mir. I've just started playing it, and I got to the 3rd level and died pretty quickly because it's actually a hard game. But I'm going to continue with it because it was really fun, and the controls were really nice on the Steam Deck to play it. Classic game.
Then it did its rounds. It's a reasonably new game. When did it come out? A couple of months ago?
Yeah. Well, it's very old school, like the play wise. It's very. It looks like.
Oh yeah, I played it.
Yeah.
Mir inflicted a copy on me, and I played it for like 3 minutes. And like,
Oh,
nope.
you did. Oh, okay. Aw.
This is not. I got a list of stuff I got to go back and play. I might give it some attention one day. So, thank you, each and every one of you. Stick around for your names in the credits and all that fun stuff. Pretty interesting getting to do what we do the way we do it, and you allow that. Now, we got to talk about laptop pies, and you know what? This is the best Google could do when I search for a laptop pie.
An apple pie.
And you know,
A square apple pie.
that
A Mac Mini apple pie. That's what that is.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like that. It's like a normal pie, except it's $1,000 more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good find, Ben.
And it doesn't come with a power cable. So, let's talk about crow pie.
Yeah. This is As the Crow Pies. I had to put that in there instead of the crow flies. So, anyways, a little silly. But this is the Crow Pi L kit, which transforms a Raspberry Pi into a laptop with only a little assembly required. And it's a shell of a laptop. Actually, everything is included except the Raspberry Pi. So it has a display, keyboard, battery, and all the other components you would need. And it's got 11.6-inch screen, a built-in keyboard, touchpad, mic, 2 megapixel camera, stereo speakers, and a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Thank you for the audio jack. 5,000 milliwatt amp or battery, and a fan.
I'm going to break in right now. What you can't see is they have, with the kit that you can get, a Pi 4 8 gig for $157,
Woo-hoo.
which is cheaper than I've seen a Pi 4 8 gig on the internet
Nice.
for months.
Yeah, actually. Actually, yeah. And yeah, so we have actually talked about laptops from this company before and earlier models.
This is the most useless Zoom thing. Like,
I know the Zoom is
what? That
it doesn't zoom in far enough for me.
it makes it look wobbly. That's how little of a zoom it is.
Yeah, it's very, very slight. I still have to use my Magnus screen magnifier to go
Now,
through
I
that
have
website.
a very real question, though. I have one problem with all of this. Maybe possibly not this.
Okay.
Maybe not, because every picture I've seen of this thing, and there's quite a ton of pictures on the site, is a render.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing like an actual picture of this, and that always worries me.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Yeah, again, we've talked about earlier models before, but this one is nice because you can pre-order it now from the Elecro website for just over $200, and you don't need to back a crowdfunding campaign like the previous versions.
Mm-hmm.
And the previous models actually required some assembly in order to connect everything, but in this one, everything is assembled. All you got to do is pop in a Raspberry Pi for Model B. It isn't compatible. This model is not compatible with the Raspberry Pi 3, so you have to get a previous model for that.
Well,
But
I'm looking at their starter
it's pretty
kit.
nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that because, people of a certain age are like, oh, that's like an old Heath kit.
Yeah, it is. It's like an old grief kit, what we used to call Heath kits back in the day.
You know what? LCDs, I mean, this is a completely different product of theirs, but I mean, yeah, they're into this education stuff. What we need, bring back the Heath kit with, high voltage.
Yes. And tubes. And we need to have a tube amp in that laptop in order to be a Heath kit.
Let's take a perfectly good, clean, pristine audio signal and mess it up with a tube and charge people extra money for it. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for stopping by, watching us live if you can. If you can't, after the fact, we're available virtually everywhere you can get a podcast. I don't think there's a place. If there is, write in. Let me know. I think we have all the basics covered. You could even watch our video version on Spotify because that's the thing we do now. But we got to get out of here before we do.
Yeah.
Let's roll some credits.
Yay, and thank all our wonderful patrons. Woohoo! Yay, thank you all so much. We wouldn't be doing this without you, really.
Got our beautiful advisors like Omegas. And we got
and
our Theron checking in. Executive producers Barbara and Scott M, Atomic Ass, Mike G, Empty Drummers, Seven, Kohaku, Pebble, and somebody I didn't catch, Darkwing and Abstraction, bringing in Chicago. That's a lot, but they know what it's about. Plenty of sea monsters. Brighter Ex Machina, Truggy, Verifinuta, Justin
Strider,
Frostbach.
Nubbin. Death Notes. Benjamin, Doom, 2-Watt.Wad. Chairlings. Everyone else. No. Oh my God. No, I can't read that fast.
I gave you your minute, man. I was trying to read about it. I was like, take the floor, Jill. Chairlings.
Yeah, chairlings.
All right, everyone. We'll see you again next week.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye, all you guys. We love you all.
Hello, Rohit.
Aw, Witches 3.
Rohit, have you started your job yet?
Yeah, Rohit.
I don't know what the onboarding process is at an alphabet agency these days. How long that takes?
Aw, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Steve Husband. Love.
Kinda. All right, let me kick this over to the after show.
Squid in there.
We got about 10 minutes.
Okay, and TechLink.
I've installed Visual Studio 2020 and synced with Source Control. I've never used Visual Studio. Not that I don't think anyone would have. I've never been in a situation. I don't have anything hatred or disdain for it. From all accounts, Visual Studio has an excellent debugger.
It's amazing, actually. It's a really good piece of software.
So, let me take a look. Let's get this together. Did anything crazy happen while we were doing the show? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. The debugger is all right. All right. Glowing endorsement from Rohit.
Yay! Azure DevOps. Yeah, there's also the open source VS Codium, which is Visual Studio with parts ripped out to make it open source.
Strider, what we need to get more people playing doing development on Linux is more people buying Steam Decks. Once that's done, Yeah, follow the money, baby. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I saw that Valve put out a little bit of a notification. So if you get your, hey, come give us the rest of the money and we'll send you one of these Steam Deck thing notifications, you got a little bit of a grace period. They didn't say exactly how long it is, but like if you missed your cutoff time, I'm guessing you might have like a day or 2 days, maybe 3 days.
Nice. That is nice, because I bet you a lot of people have missed their emails or didn't log in. How I found it is I was just, I log into Steam almost every day, and I logged in and the notification was on Steam. Mm-hmm.
Strider found out that there's not one, but 2 manufacturers for the touchpads on Steam Decks.
Oh, yeah.
So if you look on your right side touchpad, it's a little bit bigger than your left one.
It is, actually. Yeah, I did notice that.
It's 0.5.
Oh, that's cool, Matthew.
He found out because I told him. What do you mean question? I can't tell you to scroll up. You were taking pictures and posted in Discord between your 2 Steam Decks, and it's the way you can tell them apart. What do you mean question?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing because I noticed just a slight difference. I was like, wait a minute. Is this one?
They're different on different decks. Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies. You know what I mean.
I think mine are symmetrical, but one apparently is 1 millimeter smaller than the other or something.
Millimeter's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like you could hold it up to the camera and I could tell you that.
Oh, it's different sizes on your
different decks.
Development version versus the final release, probably.
That's not even the issue. It's between decks consistently. I wish I had the link that I originally posted.
Oh, my pads are the same. Okay. It's just my vision is bad. I kept thinking the right one was a little bigger, but maybe it isn't.
We're probably going to get some variations of the Steam Deck. That was one thing Gaben talked about, that he was genuinely surprised that they immediately sold out of the high index.
Yeah, I'm not, but I guess that, they figured everyone would go for the cheaper one.
Well, mid-range, low end, brand new thing coming out. And it's like, no, we just immediately sold it. And I was like, so we need to rethink that when we go back to the board on this. So we'll probably see some higher index. I don't know if we'll get a Steam Deck 2 in the next 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Like right at the end of that. It depends. We're going to be talking about that more on Saturday's show if you want to tune in, because I have a whole segment on the Steam Deck 2 and about the new APU and the custom silicon that AMD is going to be working with for it.
Nice.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that so many people out there were confident in Valve and what they were doing, that they bought the higher end one. I mean, I think that's great. The only reason I didn't is that I wanted the screen is brighter on the middle tier and the lower end one. Because it doesn't have the anti-glare. But it's not that big a difference, really. That was the only reason I bought the middle of the road one, 256 gig.
It'll be interesting when because there is a future where we're going to have more than just the Valve Steam Deck. It's an open architecture. Of course, you're going to get like the Bleem Deck things, but I can definitely see a future where Intel leads an initiative to do something with their Z graphics. Remember when Intel was going to release desktop GPUs, Joe? Mm-hmm. They started that rumor.
Yes. Absolutely. Aw, Joel. Yeah, so many people who bought the higher end one aren't getting theirs till later. I have a lot of friends who I actually got mine within the first few hours of the reservation system, but other people who had ordered them before me, who got the higher end ones aren't getting them, until July, August, September. So it's kind of sad that they get theirs later.
I want everyone to focus on the bright side of this. If you're waiting on a Steam Deck, you're one of the rare people left that have any idea what month it is.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. TechLink. Oh, okay.
I'll be interested I want basically just the low-end Steam Deck in a cube.
Yeah.
I want it in a brick with DisplayPort out or HDMI 2.1B or whatever it is, and a couple of USB ports on it for $300. I'll buy one of those. I don't want the screen. I don't want the controller. I want the guts.
That's a good ask. That could be the next mini entertainment computer,
That'll be
awesome.
Me, and I'll
could
get
be everything.
some science duct tape and buy 3 of those and science duct tape them to the back and get rid of these old boxes that are just chewing up energy.
Yeah. Put them on the back of your monitors and
be done with it.
Yeah.
Like, those would be great little PCs.
Yeah, Joel and TechLink, I feel for you. I was actually originally in Q1, but there was a delay in shipping. And I know lots of people here in Los Angeles got theirs later than they were supposed to. So I was supposed to be Q1. I got mine the first week, actually, of Q2. So I didn't have to wait that long, but I was expecting it in the April, May.
And apparently you can buy graphics cards again at reasonable prices.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Oh, yeah. And Unoid, I have decided I am going to get an RX 6900. I want that 16 gigs of RAM. And so one of your posts is one of the ones I'm going to get. So I will surprise you when I decide to shell out the $1,000 for the card.
Why would you spend $1,000 on one?
Because I want that 16 gigs of RAM. Actually, I did.
Joe, you got to check the prices of the 6900 XTs.
Yeah, I need a specific one that will fit in the case I have, and I've been following it. I need the gigabyte one because it's under 12 inches and will fit in my case. That's the problem. Is most of those are bigger than 12 inches. That's been the issue. But
which
I did
one is
see
it exactly? Give me a link to it.
Just type gigabyte and you'll find it. Yeah, that's the 6800 there. Do. They have it again on Newegg for lower right now.
Let me try gigabyte.
But even if it's only $850 or whatever, it's still $1,000 by the time it gets to me because of LA taxes and California taxes. So we pay $100 for just about almost $100 for every 1,000. So do.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to be in the camp of $300 price difference. Like, yeah, I'd probably get a different case. I'm just saying if it was me.
Well, I have a special pink case for it. So.
That's like I said.
Yeah.
If it was me. First, I wouldn't have a special pink case.
Yeah. I'm going for looks rather than form and function this time. Actually, because it's replacing my pink rig I already have here.
Oh, that one that we see on camera?
Yeah.
That we can't see on camera?
Yeah, that you can't see. Well, my new one will be in view of the camera. When
better not be anywhere near that microphone.
No, it'd be in the same place this other one is.
On the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like to put them on the floor so they're quiet. But I am going to put it more in view of the camera. I'm going to move it over a little bit. So
There it is right there. Yeah. Newegg, $100 rebate. You can get that, the gigabyte you're looking for $720.
that's gotta be the, yeah, but again, it's still going to be 1,000 by the time I get done. So I'm just saying.
Well, yes, but if you buy it for 1,000, it's going to be more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $100 off right now. $180 off.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's just a matter of I just got done spending about $3,000 on computer parts, so I need to spread it out.
So the correct statement is I don't plan on buying one right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit because I actually I need to build the system still. Yeah, and then that's it. You know it. I just because I bought all the parts, and now I just need to spend that extra 1,000 for my final part, which is the GPU. And I actually have an RX 6600, so I'll probably put that in temporarily until I get the 6900. So,
oh man,
like I've bought a couple cards recently. I just haven't bought the big card yet.
One of the interesting things to see right now is people trying to flip their cards, but the thing is people flipping.
No, the prices are down. Yeah,
they're under MSRP. Like the miners are dumping them like below cost, trying to get rid of them.
Yeah,
which is a wonderful thing to see.
The other thing that's going to happen with my new pink case is I'm going to show it on the show, eventually, and we're going to be case modding it because it doesn't have really good airflow, so I'm going to be fixing that. Yeah. I told my husband I was going to wait to buy another computer part. So.
Strider scalpers are going to scalp. I mean, scalpers only exist because people are impatient. That's the thing.
Yeah, so there were only three brands of cards that I could get that were under 12 inches for my slot from the computer, and Gigabyte was one, and I just spaced on the name of the other one. There's a couple different. There were three. I found three after spending several hours of research because most of the cards are too long, but there were three that were short enough. Oh, Sonnet. Yeah, Sonnet was another one. Yeah, and I remember you mentioned that too. Yeah, Sonnet, and I have the other one.
Yeah, one of my strats that I've always put together when building a PC, again, I've never built a PC for looks in my life, but is finding the biggest, chonkiest full tower you can, because, man, I think maybe once I had a case that was, oh yeah, I did. It was maybe 7 or 8 years ago. One of my older cases, when I bought that MSI 980.
Oh, okay.
The PCB, because this was a case where you couldn't pull out the front. It was old enough case where it had a bunch of sleds in it for hard drives, 5 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't pull those out, and the PCB scraped the back of that when I put it in.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Never again.
Yeah, so it's the Sapphire, the Toxic. There was one Sapphire that I found and there was the Toxic. I like Sapphire cards as well. Any name brand I'm happy with.
HDMI and HDMI 5. I guarantee you that will not work with HDPC.
Yeah, I do have a couple Sonnet video cards. Those are really nice as well. And I have a lot of the off-brand ones. Yeah, lots of cards. Hundreds of computers with lots of cards.
Strider, you need to become a privacy enthusiast. I mean, a little bit of paranoia, and you can spend hours and hours and hours of protecting yourself against attack vectors that don't exist as well. And you can try to spend 30 minutes telling people about all the things that you've done that really don't matter.
Oh yeah, and there's a little kind of a little really cool thing with Newegg. There's a way you can find it cheaper than Newegg from Newegg, and that's on eBay. Their eBay listings are often $50 to $100 less.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's where I was going to get the card, because that's normally what I do with Newegg is I search their Newegg, and then I'm like, okay, well, let me go to their eBay site and see what they have there. That's how I've bought the last few things from Newegg.
Yeah, I'm personally against small cases for just engineering reasons. I mean, you're genuinely going to get a shorter lifespan out of the components inside of a smaller case.
Yeah.
There's no way to argue that. There's no but. And I was like, no, as long as you're cool with that.
Yeah,
you're taking a bunch of heat generating components and confining them. Go for it.
See, I've gone from the biggest cases that you can get for a computer in the world to being a little smaller to save space. My Deck Alpha is the size of a coffee table. So. And I made sure to have the biggest case for that. Oh.
Yeah, Beastwick, I'm with you on that. I remember when Newegg was cool. Then they tried...
Yeah, I don't check. They're not the first.
I do remember that. And they did the whole thing with Gamers Nexus.
Yeah.
Trying to deny them
I know. I do a lot of Micro Center too. I've bought from them a lot, or in the past I've picked up some, ordered and picked up. Right now their GPU prices in store aren't that great. So they're starting to come down a little bit, but they're still a little bit more than Newegg and Amazon. Oh yeah, Newegg.
Oh man,
yeah.
Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy.
I'd be surprised if I could find some computer hardware in my local Best Buy. It's basically a Microsoft laptop display center with some HD TVs in the back now. I think. I don't know. Well, everyone, we're going to wind it down. I got to get a show out, and I got to plug this thing in and see if it knows how to Linux. Oh, that should be fun and entertaining. It is heavier than I thought it was.
Bye, Rohit. Bye, Matthew. Bye, Mir. Bye, everyone in chat.
So we're going to bounce. Tomorrow, Jordan will be
Eastwood,
back
Justin.
with something going on. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. And Friday, we'll be back with Trackmania. We'll be doing that. That's going to be fun. It's always a good time. Points match. We'll be there. Everyone is invited if you are a Twitch sub or patron. Link your Discord. Get into Trackmania's channel. Get those details. Come join us. Servers open 24/7 till Friday. And we're going to do it. Get a chance to win Vinstein's games.
Yeah.
We got some good ones in there.
Yeah, we sure do.
And each and every week we do that. So if it's your thing, we'll see you there. And Saturday, of course, we'll be back for Linux Gamecast Weekly, where I will be talking about the Steam Deck too.
Yeah.
And walled gardens and why they're not a good thing. And possibly FSR 2.0 going open source.
Yeah.
Because that's also a thing. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Love you all.